Hello, hello. So, I have a question to ask you. Do you believe in ghosts? Because today I'm going to share an experience that defies logic. Plus, stay with us because later on in this session, I will be sharing mini healings and past life oracle readings. So, now for the ghost story. 3 months ago, a new friend of mine shared that a man she was once close to had died in a traumatic incident and he was haunting her. Now, I'm not going to go into all the details about what happened. Just understand that he died. It was very traumatic and it happened very quickly. Now, I will call this woman Jessica and I have her permission to share some of the details about this story. So basically what happened was when I met this new friend, she's somebody you would never think would be into ghosts or that kind of thing. She's a very traditional job. It surprised me actually that she shared this story with me. But before we talk about that, have you ever experienced a ghost? Please share in the comments below or underneath this video if you have experienced a ghost or if you even believe in ghosts. So Jessica shared with me that this man had died traumatically. And she is clearly very intuitive and empathic herself. And she was very aware of his energy. And it was disrupting her sleep at night. And she felt like she just couldn't feel calm and, I don't know, safe in her own space. So I said, hey, I am trained in soul retrieval. I can connect with his energy and let's see if I can help him transition to a higher plane or a higher dimension. And so I hadn't spoken with her in about 3 months about this. And when I spoke with her last weekend, she shocked me because she said, after I had connected with him, the energy stopped. Now, she shared with me that cabinet doors in her kitchen were slamming open and closed. She was being woken up in the middle of the night. It was clearly that is very intense energy. So let's talk a little bit about what are ghosts. So I'm just going to look in the comments really quick and see what we have here. So hi Laura, hi Luann, hi Keith, hi Amy, good to see you. Amy says she definitely has ghost stories. Hello Britta, Natasha, Celia, good to see you. So let's talk about what a ghost is. So when we think about transitioning, we have free will even when we go into spirit. What our belief systems are, what we think about, how we view life. For example, this gentleman believed in hell. And because he was afraid of this transition, he was just hovering basically over the earth plane. His angels, his guides definitely were with him, but because of his state of mind, he was unable to connect or see or feel those guides and angels. So my understanding, my belief system is that when people transition for whatever reasons, and they, it could be trauma, it could be, again, a belief system, and they transition, and they basically are in again, barely hovering over the earth plane, we may experience activity such as cabinets opening and closing. We might be hearing footsteps. It can show up in some different ways. Now, I'm not here to convince you whether ghosts are real or not. You can definitely make up your own mind, but there have been plenty of people who have experienced phenomena that are hard to explain away. And not every sound you hear is going to be ghosts. Sometimes it's our guides and our angels just trying to get our attention, but this was clearly a ghost situation or somebody in spirit who is having a difficult time with the transition. So this is what happened. As somebody trained in soul retrieval, what I did was I connected with him in spirit. I was able to connect through Jessica, and I was able to connect with his energy, and I was aware of Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael coming forward, and just sending lots of love and forgiveness and being able to connect with him and help him connect to a higher dimensional plane, a higher frequency. And from there, he was able to have awareness of where he was enough so that his guides and angels could take him to a place which I perceived as a healing pod and a deep healing chamber because of this trauma, this experience that he had experienced during during his transition. I just said that. So that's basically what happened there. And again, Jessica confirmed that there was no more activity. And she didn't tell me about the cabinet doors slamming shut and open spontaneously until I had spoken with her 3 months after we had had this session. So what we can learn from this situation is that our belief system, when we are here, really can have an impact on what happens with our transition process. We have free will, even when we transition. So if we want to choose to believe that there is a hell, that is a potential experience we may or may not have. Again, it depends on the person's situation. So the more work that we can do to clear our energy, to work on our own traumas that we may have either inherited from our ancestors, or we may have experienced from another lifetime, or what we may have experienced in the current lifetime, everything that we can do to heal ourselves, to clear our energy, will have an impact on our transition experience on the other side. So I'd like you to think about it this way. As you're healing yourself, and as you're helping to impact those around you, as you're healing yourself and you're healing your ancestors at the same time, this is going to help raise your vibrational frequency. As you raise your vibrational frequency, it'll make it easier for you to connect with your guides, your angels, and again, impact your experience of going to the other side. So again, ghosts, in my opinion, and for other people who have talked about this, people who typically go and have a specific belief system and are having a very difficult time understanding where they are, or their belief system here in the human plane is directly impacting their experience when they transition, and it may be causing some issues for those of us that are still here. All right, I want to take another peek here. All right, Keith says, no ghost story, but been seeing so many different things. Britta says, for 3 days after my father passed away, I woke up each morning with the strongest sensation that he was right there with me. Never after that. So Britta, that to me feels like a visit from your loved one saying, hi, I'm with you, I love you, which would be very different from a ghost situation where it's the person typically isn't understanding where they are, isn't understanding that they have actually transitioned, that they're very confused and reaching out to somebody who's close, who they're feeling very close to, such as my client and friend Jessica. So that is very cool, Britta, that your father visited you. And a lot of times they'll show up in dreams, or you can just feel them, or you can maybe smell a cologne or a scent that went with them. Let's see, Keith, healing is sometimes hard, but the outcome is so amazing. Absolutely, that is very, very true. Okay, so that's what we learned about what happens when we are. Well, what can you do? What can you do if you suspect that there is somebody in spirit that's confused and might be coming around as a ghost? If you suspect that somebody is having a difficult time, ask for guides and angels to help, which they already are. Try to speak to the energy if you feel like you know who it is, or even if you don't know who it is, just be very calm. Put yourself around a lot of gold and white light. Just make sure that you feel very safe, you feel very grounded, and send lots of love. And just ask that if you're able to say, hey, go, see if you can see the light, or see if you can see your guides or angels. Or you can work with somebody who specializes and connect with those who are in the spirit realm and help them with the transition. Okay. Hi, Marcia. Good to see you. All right. So anybody else have any experience with ghosts? I just want to see if anybody has had an experience. I know there was one other time I had a spontaneous soul retrieval with my grandfather in spirit that surprised me. And I was very aware when I was in a deep meditative place that my grandfather was still identified as being an 84-year-old man. He was shuffling around in his slippers, and fortunately, he probably was ghosting somebody, or not ghosting somebody, was being a ghost in somebody else's reality. But I was very aware of Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, coming in. I was also very aware of Jesus, the Christ consciousness coming in to help and help assist. So again, whatever we can do to clear our energy, to heal our trauma, can be extremely helpful with our transition process. All right. I also want to say thank you to my daughter Laura, who's in the background, who is who is putting everything up here for me. All right, so let's talk about the validation I received. So the day after that I worked with this gentleman, I had an awareness actually while I worked with him. It only took about 15, 20 minutes really to connect with this gentleman and help with the transition piece with spirit. But the next day, I was on a walk and the thought popped into my head about this healing that had happened. And truly it's a healing when you think about it, helping somebody who's in a very traumatic space and is unable to feel or see clearly, and help them with love, help them transition to a place where those in spirit can really help with the deep healing. So I'm walking on my morning walk, and the thought popped in my head about this gentleman, and I thought, I hope that everything is okay. Start getting the head chills right away. It's kind of like a little chills or tingles inside of my head. I looked down and I can't remember. I think it was a hawk feather that was right there. So to me, that was validation that this had worked, that this experience had been very helpful. Now, I have heard of situations where there are people that are in spirit that refuse to move on and transition. Fortunately, this gentleman did want to move on and just need a little encouragement to feel safe in doing that. So, all right. Let's see if there's anything else that I want to share with that. Luann says, a few weeks ago, I was in another room and I had a glass smash on the floor from a china cabinet. This was the day before the anniversary of my ex-husband's death. Interesting. That's very interesting. Luann, I'd be really curious to know if you got any intuitive information on what that was all about. Did it feel scary? Did it feel like somebody was trying to get your attention? Well, clearly somebody was trying to get your attention, but what was the emotion that came with that? I'd be very curious to know what you felt, because when we have these experiences, just take a moment to ground and just feel into the emotion, and just remember that it is a very loving thing to do, to say, if somebody needs some assistance, just send them the love, and it's okay to move on. But I would be curious to know, Luann, what you were picking up on that. Celia says, I worked with hospice patients, helping them to follow the light. Oh, Celia, I volunteered, and I love this. I volunteered in hospice. This is before the pandemic happened. And I was working with a woman in hospice, and I was in the 11th hour. It's the only time I was doing the 11th hour. And if you've ever been in hospice or know of somebody working with hospice, this is when you have the opportunity to, somebody is very close to transitioning, and the family just for whatever reason is unable to be there. And I was there and helped this woman. She transitioned right after I left, but the very next day, when I was about ready to go to bed, the lights turned on and had this glow. The lights were off in the room, and this glow came on the lamp. The lamp started to glow, and then it stopped, and I had this overwhelming sense of gratitude from the lady that I'd helped to transit, that I sat with for the 11th hour. So pay attention, see what you feel, see what you notice. Luann, were you okay? How did you feel when that happened, if you're still here? I'm just curious to know what you experienced with that. Okay, are there any questions about the, Luann says, I was scared, and I'm assuming X came to mind. I had a few other experiences where he wanted to hurt me. Okay, Luann, that's a very different situation. I might want to talk to you about that. I might want to talk to you offline about that, Luann, about that situation. I might want to talk to you about that offline. Okay, so that is a situation where you can talk to. In the meantime, what you can do is you can speak to, if you have a strong sense that this is who this is, say his name, surround yourself with gold and white light, feel very, call in Archangel Michael, ask Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael to specifically assist. Sometimes what can happen, I feel like, is that those of us that are here in the earth plane, our energy is close enough to those that are in the spirit are in the spirit realm that that we might be able to have an easier time to help them connect the dots. But you may want to consider talking to your ex and just say, call him by name and say, hey, this is not okay. You need to move on to the light, or, you know, ask the guides and angels to come and do some assistance. Okay, and you can also contact me. Hi, Jondelyn, so good to see you. All right, but the most important thing is, it's like, please remember your power. Remember that you are divine source. You are of divine source. You are of divine spirit, and you have every right to set up boundaries in your space. Calling in your angels, calling in, asking for your space to be clear of anybody who is confused. You absolutely have the right, and that's where those boundaries can be very, very helpful. And there may be situations where you may need to work with somebody. All right, any other questions? I don't think I missed anybody. Okay, if you are interested in a reading, you are in luck, because we're going to do a little past life reading today. I have this new deck called Past Life Energy Oracle by Sandra Ann Taylor. And this deck looks like this. It's a brand new deck that I have. Type 111 into the chat box if you want to have a chance for a little mini healing and reading with me. Now, for those of you who are new to this, please understand this is never meant to replace a medical diagnosis. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tune into you. I'm going to connect with spirit. I'm going to tune into you, and your higher self and source are going to show me where the most important thing is they want you to pay attention to. So that's the first thing that I want you to understand. I am fully present. I probably won't be doing any channeling tonight. I doubt that. But what I do is I have a small pillow in my lap. I can sense and feel what's going on. They'll use all my senses, and I'll just describe where they're taking me, as far as, we'll just say what's the most helpful thing you need to know in terms of maybe the most energy block for today. If you would like me to pull a past life reading card, I'm going to assume that you're okay with that. This is a new deck I have, so I may be referring to the book a little bit, but it's a pretty powerful deck. All right, so has everybody typed in 111 into the chat box? Go right ahead and do that. Okay, before I do that, I'm asking you to please submit, if you're interested, a dream snippet. And this is my friend Monica Lever. She's very intuitive. She's an intuitive dream interpreter. She and I are going to be recording another podcast, and we are looking for a dream scene. So basically, if you have a dream and it's like maybe, 3 to 5 sentences long. For example, I'll just say you have a dream and you're in the kitchen and there's broken glass on the floor. That would be about all you would write. So something very short and sweet that you would like us to take a look at and just interpret what that dream scene is. So not a big, long, involved dream, but just like a scene, that we will take a look at that. We're going to draw somebody at random. So you want to email Laura at lisahsnyder.com with that information. Again, that's Laura, Laura, at lisahsnyder.com, and she will field those dreams for us. And if you are chosen, then also understand I will tune into you and see what other information that Spirit would like to share around the dream. So please consider emailing a dream scene, about 3 to 5 sentences in length, to us, and your dream might be on a future podcast. All right, let's get to the readings and healings. All right, Laura, she's laughing at me in the background. I can see her laughing. You can't see her, but I can see her laughing. All right, so let's see who we have here. All right, it's now spinning round and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows. Luann! Hello, Luann. All right, Luann, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a card. So congratulations, Luann. I'm going to pull a card from the Past Life Energy Oracle deck. This is a brand new deck of mine. My friend Glenda, who's a psychic medium in Australia, told me about this deck, and I had to get it right away. And I'll tell you, I've done a few readings with a few people, and they've been so spot on. So I'm just going to pull one card from the deck tonight. Normally I like to pull 3, and then I'm also going to pull one from the Sort of Light Archangel Michael Oracle deck by Radley Valentine for you, Luann. Oh, one just literally flew out of the deck. Okay, we're going to do that one. Okay, so Luann, the first one that they're talking about, interesting. Archangel Uriel, passion and spirit connections. And I drew this one not too long ago myself. Archangel Uriel, and it looks like this. Okay, here we go. Looks like that. And, cheaters, here we go. Hold on. Uriel, the message, he is the angel of poetry, arts, and sciences. He's also known as the fire of God, and he often carries the disk of the sun. Uriel brings the wisdom, beauty, and light of divine conscience to you, and he's calling you to open your heart to the support and happiness that comes from this eternally loving source. And what I'm doing here, guys, if you start reading deck tarot for yourselves, or oracle decks, and you start working with the new deck, I'm just looking at what's jumping off the page at me here. Some of the most important he's talking about journaling here. So some of the most important writing you can do is to keep a journal, explore and expressing your feelings, cutting away any misinformation from your past. And so start one now. It brings clarity, inspiration, and direction to your life. And here's a very interesting thing. The other card that got pulled here, Luann, for you was number 22. This is the one that flew out of the deck. Open your heart. So we have passion and spirit connections from the past life oracle deck, and open your heart. Open your heart. It's very interesting that you mentioned that you think you believe your ex-spouse is interfering or is connecting here, or what you said. So keep a journal, inspiration. And here's the affirmation. I call on Uriel to help ignite my passion and devotion. I receive the endless joys and blessings that come from my loving spiritual connections. And what does it say? Open your heart. All right. I love that for you, Luann. Okay, Luann, I'm going to tune into you really quick. Make sure I don't mess up my ducks here. All right, Luann, they're taking me to your throat. Very first place to bring. So for those of you who are new to my work, I have a pillow in my lap again, and I'm just, right away, I got the sensation they're taking me to your throat. And what they want you to do, Luann, is they want you to take a nice breath through the front of your throat, and they would like you to exhale it out the back of your neck. And as you do this breath work, just imagine that you are clearing and releasing what no longer serves you in the throat area. As you're doing that, I can feel the back of your neck. As you do this, I can feel the back of your neck starting to heat up. And I'm also aware of my eyes. I'm aware of my eyes being impacted here as you're clearing and working out this through the throat area. So really pay attention to clearing this out. And it's interesting too, because when Uriel was talking about the journaling and writing and getting your thoughts down on paper, that's very interesting that we got brought to your throat. So Luann, would love to know if this resonates for you at all. If it does, would love for you to please make a comment in the comment field. Because I'd like to know if this is making sense. But what they're showing me again is they really want you to work with your throat, your avenue of expression, and your communication. And as you do that, this is going to help clear. And it's going to help work with your eyes as well, because I can feel my eyes kind of tensing up a little bit as I connect with your throat and your neck area. All right, Luann, I hope that was helpful. All right, Laura, let's pick somebody else. And then if you're just joining, type 111 into the chat box, and you will have a chance for a little mini reading healing. And we're probably going to do, we'll see how much time we have. Amy, good to see you, Amy. Thank you for joining us today. Amy, are you still here? I just want to make sure that you do have to be present to have me tune into you. So, Amy, I just would like to know if you are still here. Yes, very helpful. Thank you, Luann. I really appreciate it. So Luann says, yes, very helpful. I'm glad that was helpful. Amy, if you could type yes in the chat box if you're still here. If you're not still here, I am going to pick somebody else. Laura, if you can just watch for that. Amy's here. Awesome. All right, Amy, I'm going to pick a card for you from the Past Life Oracle deck. We'll see what the most important message for you is. And I'm also going to pick an angel card. All right. Hi, Diane. Good to see you. All right. So, Amy, your card today is, well, this is interesting. All right. So, Amy, the card that was drawn for you is number 28. This is the past life one, and this is isolation, lack of connections. I'm just going to look at the book really quick because I am new to this. But when I feel this, I feel like it's interesting because I'm feeling this. It's interesting. I'm feeling some sort of an imprisonment in this one. I don't know why, but I'm just going to look at the book really quick and see what jumps out. This is easy. This is something you guys can do too. Lack of connections. Present isolation can have many karmic sources, but if you're experiencing a life of few or no friends, it's time to investigate this pattern. Even if you have a large family or several acquaintances, you may still feel disconnected. Past life energy may have been extreme. You may have lost your family or community through war, drought, or some other natural disaster. That's jumping out at me. I'm also seeing something here about if you were cast out, there might be some resentment and distrust. You may have some people in your life that this is still connected with. And sometimes people just prefer to be alone. Let's see, what else? No matter how comfortable you may feel with the lack of companionship, the truth is you're missing out on some of the most rewarding moments. Release old fears and take some steps to meet like-minded people. Amy, this is your affirmation. It is safe and comfortable for me to connect with others in more meaningful ways. And again, if this doesn't resonate, just let it go and release it. But there is something here with isolation. This could even be you choosing to put yourself in self-isolation because you just might be experiencing too much. There just might be too much that's going on, and there might be some people from what I'm feeling like here, Amy, is like, people that I'm getting this buzzy energy here, Amy, and it's this buzzy energy just tells me this is something that you want to clear out. This buzzy energy gets to be too much, and this is more of you needing to get away, and this is you needing more time to yourself. The other card I pulled for you is number 23, Pray from the Heart. Prayer really can move mountains. Reach out to the divine with your heart's concerns and watch miracles unfold. And when I think of prayer from the heart, I'm also feeling this, that's our connection with spirit. That's our connection with taking time. That's that meditation. And this also will be connecting with this isolation piece, if that makes sense, Amy. All right, perfect. Amy, I'm going to tune into you really quick. Amy, I'm being brought to your gut right away. I heard gut. And as I tune into your abdominal area, Amy, I'm very aware of the upper abdominal area. And I'm also aware that your abdominal area is energetic release. So when you guys hear me burp, that's an energetic release. I can't burp on command, but that's just so that the energy doesn't stick with me. So that's also a validation for me. We're in the right area here. So Amy, as I'm connecting with you, you're going to want to, what they want you to do is they want you to breathe through your abdominal area. And they're also making me very aware in the back of your abdomen. So beyond the, underneath the rib cage on the right side, they're showing me a spot there that looks like it's tension. Again, not a medical diagnosis. This is just the energy. So what they want you to do is they want you to breathe. They want you to breathe through the front and exit out the back on the right side in particular. This is also linked with the emotions of isolation. So I'm seeing a pocket of energy that's just kind of hanging out there. It just feels like it's old, and so you're going to want to clear that out. So you're just going to breathe that out, clear that out, and release that doesn't serve you. Beautiful. And I can tell you're doing it, Amy, because I can feel it. And I also want to acknowledge that my nose is getting itchy and my right eye is starting to tear up a little bit, and my throat is also getting itchy. So this may also be related to allergies, but I'm also being made aware this is related to your communication and prayers from the heart. That really intentional connection with spirit is going to be very helpful for you. Amy, I hope this was helpful. Please, I would love to have feedback in the comment section if this made sense. And if it doesn't, that's fine too. We are all here to learn and just to have fun with this. All right, Laura, let's pick one more person. Let's see if we have anybody else here that's interested in a reading. And then I'm going to just, I would just like to comment too that we might have time for two more actually. Next Sunday is our next healing circle, which is the 29th. I'm changed it to next Sunday, hoping that we can get more people that can make that time frame. It'll be at 8 a.m. Pacific time and 11 a.m. Eastern time. And what we've been doing lately is we're having a spiritual topic. And then depending on the size of the group, I'll tune into each person individually, kind of like what we're doing here. And then we'll do a channeled healing meditation where I connect with the ancients and I connect with source. And we'll see what kind of information wants to come through for the group session. All right. So our winner is Keith. Amy, you absolutely tuned into me. Thank you so much. I'm so glad I met you. Amy, I'm so glad I met you too. Amy attended a in-person event that I had in Raleigh this weekend. So thank you, Amy, or last weekend. So it was good to meet you too. So thank you. I really appreciate you showing up. All right, Keith is here. Keith. Now I might have time for one more. So just stay tuned, guys. Either one more or, yeah, we'll just see what we got here. All right, Keith. Keith, Keith, Keith. What is the most helpful card for Keith in the past life deck? Some energetic releases here, and I'm going to go into the and if you're interested in the circle, you can go to my website and check that out. And also, I don't have any other circles scheduled for the rest of the year. Not sure if we're going to have any more the rest of 2025. Just depends on the interest. Okay, fantastic. Keith, I've got the past life card for you is number 4. It's interesting. We're having kind of a theme tonight. A lot of introspection things going on here. Keith, number 4, abandonment, feelings of unworthiness and rejection. I'm going to look at the book really quick, and I'm just going to see what messages or jump out at me. Again, this is a fairly new deck. Past lives of abandonment can carry deep emotional scars that often repeat in present patterns of rejection. No matter what has happened in the past, either in this life or in previous lives, you now have the power to release this karmic trend. Nothing could be further from your eternal and divine truth which pre-existed. You are a child of God. It is time to embrace that truth and aggressively release the kind of thinking that causes you to reject yourself. So this is a common theme for a lot of people, I feel like, especially in this one, this abandonment issue. And I feel like, and there's so many ways that this can go. This can even be, we might experience abandonment we all experience some degree of abandonment. I can't believe nobody has experienced that, whether it's a friend or it's a parent or it's a coworker, it could be, but the most important thing about this card for all of us, and Keith, yourself included, of course, is that just remembering that we are our best friends. That is one of the lessons that we have to learn while we are here in this incarnation. That is how to step into our power and how to be our best friend. Because as we are our best friend, as we are loving ourselves, as we don't abandon ourselves, because if we don't abandon ourselves, it literally will send out that energy and it'll shift I want to say like the reality or the perception or they're showing me a kaleidoscope of opportunities here for those around you. So it's almost like as we are identifying and we are connecting with our own power and we are not abandoning ourselves. And I'm not saying you are abandoning yourself, Keith. I'm just saying this is kind of a general thing for all of us here. As we choose to be our best friend, as we choose to love ourselves, just as we were talking earlier, as we choose to heal ourselves, it's like we are raising our expectations. We are raising I want to say vibration, but it's more than that. It is our experience. We're raising the bar on our experience of what we are and are not allowing into our space. And so we are also, Keith, as you are with this card, this is also teaching you you're also an example to other people on how to live their lives. So, which is very interesting because guess what the other card is that I pulled for you? Be a light to others. You have a powerful message to share. Shine your light on the world so that others can learn from you. So Keith, if you've ever experienced and you've had some really powerful lessons around this theme, this past life theme that deals with abandonment, then this is going to help you be a light to others. Do you see how these cards are coming together? You really can't make this stuff up. This is really powerful. And we can all relate to this, Keith. We can all relate to this. All right, Keith says, so true, Lisa, and I've been healing that inside myself. Thank you for the validation. All right, Keith, I'm going to tune into you really quick. All right, I'm being brought to your heart center, Keith. So they have one hand in the front of your heart center, the other hand's on your back. And what they would like you to do is just create space within your whole heart center. And I'm actually rocking back and forth here. Energetic release, and they're creating space here, and they're wanting to bring to my attention, they're creating space from side to side. So I wanted to say front to back, but it's more so side to side. Like they're just it's almost like they're trying to open you up from side to side. So what they want you to do is they want you to bring in the breath through the front to heart center, and they want you to shoot that breath out through the right and the left side, and just release what no longer serves you down to Mother Earth. There you go. Beautiful. All right, Keith, now as you're doing that, I can feel so much rotational movement happening here. So you just continue to do that breath, but that's what they would like you to breathe. So when you think about and when you feel into the theme of abandonment and being a light to others, as you're healing this theme, as you are working with this, as you are loving yourself, as you are stepping into your power, and it makes it easier to be a light to others, you're healing yourself, you're healing ancestral generational traumas and belief systems and patterns. It's not even just traumas, it's the belief patterns that go with those energies, that as you're doing that, that is going to help open this up. Okay, so keep on doing your work, Keith. It's very, be a light for others. All right, Keith, I hope that was helpful for you. Laura, I think we have time for one more. Let's just do one more. And you do have to be present for me to tune into you. Hope everybody's having a good night. Just going to look through the comments. All right. Laura Evans. Laura, are you still here? If you can just go ahead. So just as a reminder, if we were talking earlier about ghosts, and we were talking about how our belief system and the work that we have done while we are here, how it's so important to remember that as we are working on ourselves, it's gonna affect even our transition experience. All right, Keith says, thank you and yes. Oh, thank you, Keith. Keith just gave me a compliment. Thank you so much, Keith. I really appreciate that. All right, Laura Evans, are you still here? I am not seeing any comments. If you're here, Laura, go ahead and put a comment in there. If you're not here, we'll draw one more person. Okay, I don't think Laura is here. She may have left. All right, Laura, you want to go ahead and just see if we have anybody else? Laura's going to pick one more person here because it looks like Laura Evans might have left. Sorry, Laura, if you're still here, but you do have to be present to win. So if you are, Diane, are you here? Please type yes in the chat box if you are here, Diane. All right. And if she's gone, maybe we will just, all right, I'm going to pull a card for the collective from the angel deck. For all of us that are still here. All right. Our message for today. Oh, Diane, I agree with Keith. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Diane. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, Diane, you're gonna be next. This is gonna be for the collective. Our collective card for everybody here today is number 1, all is in perfect timing. This is it. It's time to take action now. I will be here to help you every step of the way, and it looks like this. So this is our message for today. I love how positive and optimistic that is. Love that. All right, Diane, I'm going to tune into you really quick. And just a reminder that if you haven't had a chance to, if you're interested in having my friend Monica and myself interpret a dream snippet or a dream scene, please email Laura, L-A-U-R, at lisahsnyder.com, and you might be chosen for a future podcast for us to interpret your dream. All right, Diane. Okay, Diane, the first card I pulled for you. Oh, wow, that's interesting. I promise you, I shuffled these cards over and over and over again. Number 27, Archangel Uriel, passion, spirit, connections. Uriel is here. I think Uriel is really trying to get all of our attention today. I really, really do. This is the second. I shuffled and shuffled these cards, and this one popped up again. And I just read this one. So, Diane, the first thing I'm getting for you is this is... I'm just seeing a lot of journaling. I'm seeing a lot of writing. I'm seeing a lot of higher thought consciousness. I feel like I feel like there's something here that you're creating, or something here that you are. I'm seeing a scroll here, Diane, for you. I'm seeing a scroll. I'm seeing a scroll from a past life situation. A lot of journaling. A lot of this definitely taps into creativity. So they really want you just to continue with whatever this is that you are creating, just to keep on creating this. I'm just seeing this document. I'm seeing this document. I'm seeing this book. I'm just seeing whatever this is. They want you to. They just want to encourage you to keep on doing that and keep on working with that. The other card that I pulled for you, Diane, is number 6. Be the real you. Your greatest power comes from being who you truly are. Don't let anyone sway you from expressing your authentic self. And that is linking in with that journaling, this writing, whatever it is that you are doing right now, Diane. This is all connected. Be you, be authentic. Whatever this document is that you are creating, whatever this book is that you are creating, just keep on, because your word is meant to be spread. Your word is meant to be shared. Okay, Diane, I'm going to tune into you really quick. All right, they're taking me to your throat and the back of your neck. What they're showing me here, Diane, they're showing me what looks like lymphatic drainage on the either side of your throat and neck. And it's not a medical diagnosis, but I'm just seeing what looks like two little, how they're showing me visually is they're showing me like little tubes on either side of your throat and neck. So it just feels like they want to work on drainage. So this is some physical, just energetic. And actually, if you feel guided, Diane, you're just very, very gently stroking your throat and neck to encourage lymphatic drainage around the throat and the neck area. Energetic release. And this is also part of that communication. So this journaling, this book, this document that you're writing, this past life connection, they're also showing me that you got in trouble for whatever it is that you wrote and you expressed in a previous incarnation, but that you have a very powerful message to share, and that this powerful message they're showing me the pen is all lit up. So this pen that's lit up is like you are still taking up the pen or taking up the word. You're not letting that stop you, but they're just bringing to your attention the throat and the neck area. So they just want you to breathe through that throat and neck area, clear out that throat and the neck, and just to visualize the flow. So the flow of the lymphatic fluids around the throat and the neck is also symbolic of the flow of the information that's going to be flowing through your voice and your communication. So just really bring that breath in the front of your throat, bring that all inside, and imagine that it's draining what no longer serves you down the sides, all the way down to Mother Earth, who will help you release what is no longer serving you. Thank you. I hope that was helpful, Diane. Would love to know if that message made sense. Just Jules says, thank you. Always helpful and wonderful to tune in when I'm able. Diane says, beautiful message and really resonates with me. I've just been starting to learn how to do. Okay, I'm sorry. I should finish this, Diane, because this is going to be on my podcast. Diane says, beautiful message, really resonates. I have been just starting to learn how to do lymphatic drainage. Thanks so much. Just what I needed to hear. Well, there you go. You just can't make this up. Awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Please remember that if you have a dream snippet, please email Laura@lisahsnyder.com. My next sound healing is going to be next Sunday on September 29th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Hope that you can join us there. And thank you, everybody, for joining us live tonight. It has been my honor and my pleasure to be with you. Please remember, you are fully supported, you are fully protected, and you are fully loved. Thank you so much. Love and blessings. Good night.